Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my presentation. In here, I want to present our research entitled The Psychological Responses of Several Beef Cattle Breeds Based on Environmental Conditions in Beef Cattle Research Station. Before I start my presentation, let me introduce our team. My name is Sulistianing Tias Irmawandi. The second one is Mrs. Penny Wahyu Prihandini. The third one is Mr. Muhammad Lutfi. We are from Research Center for Animal Husbandry, National Research and Innovation Agency. For the introduction, we know that beef cattle have important role providing animal-derived nutrient. Development of beef cattle is done primarily on small farm, private company, and government agency. One of government agency that development beef cattle is Beef Cattle Research Institute, or we call it BCRI. Was formed in 2002 and focused on research in beef cattle under Livestock Research and Development Center. Several breed beef cattle that develop in BCRE, such as Bali, Madura, Jabres, Galekan, Rambon, Ongol Crossbreed, Pelkian Blue Eggs, Ongol Crossbreed Eggs, Bali, or we call it Poba. Climate change, one main factor that causes ambient temperature high. Climate change can affect productivity or performance and the psychological of livestock. So farmer must more attention to make the comfortable environment. We call it comfort zone. When livestock maintained in a comfort zone, the psychological will run optimally. The objective of this study was to analyze the psychological of the livestock, several beef cattle in BCRI environment. Material and method that we use in this research, we call it 159 cow consists of Bali, Madura, Kalekan, Jabres, Rambon, Ongol crossbreed, Belgian Blue, crossed with Ongol crossbreed, and Poba cattle. We collect data at 3 a.m., 6 a.m., 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m., and 12 a.m. The parameter that we calculate after we collect data, the first one in temperature and humidity of the pen, temperature and humidity index and heat tolerance coefficient, and the psychological responses. Data were analyzed descriptively by calculating the average and standard deviation. For temperature humidity index, we use formula from Bulita et al. 2015, and for the heat tolerance coefficient, we use formula from Penicillin 1964. From the microclimate condition on farm, we know that ambient temperature and relative humidity on farm fluctuate. When the ambient temperature increases, relative humidity will decrease. For the temperature humidity index, some of beef cattle breeds have severe heat stress start at 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. But start in 6 p.m., all beef cattle breeds have moderate stress. Higher and lower TSE value depend on ambient temperature and relative humidity value. For rectal temperature, only breed Belgian Blue crossed with Ongol crossbreed feeds have a normal value because the value more than 39 degrees Celsius. For the body temperature, all beef cattle breeds have normal value because the value not more than 39 degrees Celsius. For respiration rate, only breed Belgian Blue crossed with Ongol crossbreed which have abnormal value because the value more than 34 times per minute. For the heat tolerant value, we know that in here, we calculate heat tolerance based on body temperature and respiration frequency. So, when the value of heat tolerance more than 2 can indicate that livestock got heat stress. And then when the body temperature and respiration higher, the value of heat tolerance will higher too. For the heart rate, in this diagram, we know that the value of heart rate slowly increase at 10 a.m. and decrease at 6 p.m. Because the frequency of heart rate depends on body temperature, ambient temperature, and humidity, So the higher and lower of heart rate depends on that factor. It was concluded that several breeds of beef cattle in BCRI has mild to severe head stress, high health tolerance, respiration rate, heart rate, and rectal temperature. These physiological responses do not cause production problem in several beef cattle, but in Belgian blue crossed with all crossbred cattle, it has the potential to lower productivity. To are grateful to the Beef Cattle Research Institute Livestock Research and Development Center, Indonesian Agency for Agriculture Research and Development, Ministry of Agriculture of the Republic of Indonesia for funding support. Thank you for your attention. See you on next presentation.